Isaiah Riel with Laguna Wealth Advisors. Today I'm sharing with you my April 2019 market update. Let me start with this. I'm a huge sports fan, I'm a huge football fan, and the NFL draft happened last weekend. And that's where all the NFL football teams come together, and there's 7 rounds, and they draft college football players in each of those rounds in the hopes that these players will help them win the Super Bowl. And there's a whole process in the NFL draft, and on top of that is all of NFL football teams, in a sense, are very happy. And the reason for that is because everyone has a clean slate. There's no wins, there's no losses, there's no drama, hopefully. The New England Patriots, who are the best football team most likely, or usually, have the same record as the worst football team in the league because no one has any wins, no one has any losses. People are excited because there's new players coming into the league, and maybe there's some players they're excited about, and hopefully they can draft for their team, and they want to get those players for themselves. At the same time too, people are excited because you know what, new season, perhaps they're going to put a new strategy together, or they brought in new coaches or new players, and they're really excited because you know what, we want this to work for ourselves, we want to perform. And so I was watching the NFL draft on Saturday, and on top of that, so not only are the NFL teams happy because there's a clean slate, there's a lot of positive things happening for them, but also too, they have to decipher and they have to break down what players do we want. What positions do we need to address, perhaps? Maybe a team needs a quarterback. They probably should look at the quarterbacks and try to see if they should draft one. And so these football teams and these coaches and what have you, they're studying these players. They want to see which ones are the right fits for us. And so I was watching the NFL draft, and it made me start thinking that, you know what, this is really similar to what I do on a daily basis, and also too, it's very similar to what's happening in the stock market and the economy right now. And so let me transition to the market update. I talked to you in March, and we had the best 3 months on record, or one of the best 3 months on record for the stock market, and I put it into perspective in the sense of, yes, it's exciting, but we're back to where we were in October of last year. We broke even, and so in a sense, clean slate. On top of that, a lot of positive factors have come to fruition here in April. S&P 500 hit an all-time high, which is a great thing. The NASDAQ hit an all-time high, fantastic. GDP, which is the indicator that we use here in America to dictate and to give us an idea of how well our economy is doing, well, it was up 3.2%. That's more than what a lot of people thought it would be. That tells us the economy is still humming. It's still doing very well. That's a positive thing moving forward. On top of that, markets around the world, Europe and Asia actually are growing in unison for the first time in quite some time. That's positive. So as investors, as an advisor, we probably are excited because, gosh, there's so many positive things happening out there. There's GDP numbers that are positive. S&P's higher. NASDAQ is higher. Countries around the world are starting to grow now, which is a fantastic thing. So as investors, as financial advisors, our job, and your job too as an investor, is to make sure that, hey, we take advantage of this, right? And so I equate that to the NFL because that's what these NFL teams want to do. They want to take advantage of these opportunities given to them. And so we as investors need to do the same thing. And that's what I want to talk to you today about, is doing our due diligence. Is we can definitely put more monies to work, absolutely. But we have to be specific, and we have to be very selective with where we put our monies right now. We have to be more specific with how much money are we going to put to work, what type of investments are we going to put our monies into, and everything in between. And so these NFL football players, or I should say these NFL football teams, they have a checklist for what they want. They want to make sure that this player has maybe a specific 40 times, so they make sure this player is fast to fit their needs, or they need to make sure this player is strong enough to fit their positional need, or they want to make sure that this player has enough track record when it comes to stats in college to show that, hey, they can translate that to the NFL. Well, we need to have a same checklist when it comes to us moving forward for investments. And I shared that with some people I sat down with here recently is, I have a checklist for my clients, and I have a checklist for when I talk to people about how we put monies to work, in the sense of, especially right now with the markets doing very well, which is a great thing, even more so, we need to make sure we have a checklist, because we can't just be putting monies everywhere. We have to make sure we put it in specific areas that, hey, give us the best chance of success. Of course, we can't guarantee it, but give us the best chance. So what I want to share with you today is this, and more importantly is this, is, right now, sectors-wise, technology is still number one. Actually, industrials is now number 2, which technically is aerospace. Number 3 has changed. Number 3 is utilities, and healthcare has actually jumped out. To healthcare 6 or 7 now, because of the politicians right now are talking about their thoughts of what they would do if they became president. That seems like it's affecting healthcare right now. Funny thing though is healthcare companies are coming out with profits, so financial wise, healthcare companies are doing pretty well. Speculation wise, they're going down in value just right now, because it seems like people are speculating as to what ifs can happen in politicians, which typically that's not a good thing to do, but hey, that's what's happening. So when it comes to investments right now, checklist. If you're looking at a specific investment, what sector is it in? Is it in a good sector, yes or no? Because typically when you're looking at an investment, 80% of how that investment is going to perform is based off of how well the actual sector is doing. Number 2, what company are you looking at? Because obviously the company is going to have some type of impact on it. You want to make sure this is a strong company in a strong sector. And number 3 is you want to make sure how well is the stock market doing, how well is the actual overall index doing. Are we in a downtrend, or are we in an uptrend? Because you want to make sure you put your monies to work at the proper time. Of course, you can't guarantee anything, you can't time the market, but you want to make sure you put the most odds in your favor, right? And so that's why we have to make sure, hey, if we can put our monies to work in an uptrend, fantastic, let's do that. So I want to share with you that today is, hey, that's a checklist I would probably put in place, in a very simple checklist. I have a little more of detail, but I want to share that with you today. And so, I hope that this can help you moving forward. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, please let me know. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks so much. Have a great day.